What's up, everybody? This is Jeremy from FLST. Today we're going to be talking about 5 books that can help you step up your songwriting game. So let's jump in. So a few years ago, I was living in Nashville, Tennessee, and I had the opportunity to sit down with a vice president from a publishing company down in the Brentwood area. And we got to talking about songwriting, and I asked him for some suggestions or for some resources to help improve songwriting. And these are the 5 books that he recommended that I get that would help me step my game up in songwriting. So the first book that he recommended to me was On Writing by Stephen King. Now this is a book by a writer, an actual author, and not a songwriter. But what he said is this is really about the mindset behind writing, of it being a lifestyle and understanding the ups and the downs that you have to go through in order to get better and better at your craft. The first half of the book talks about his life as he was trying to launch into a writing career. But then the second half, he really gets into some of the nitty-gritty about his process and his mindset for how he works on writing. And I think it's really insightful and really helpful for songwriters to understand, especially for me, to understand that you have to work on your craft every day, and you have to put in the time and the effort and create a discipline in order to get better at anything. So I found that book really, really valuable. The second book that he recommended to me was Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. Again, this is another writer, but I think again gets into the creative mindset and the process behind writing and what every creative person struggles with in terms of how good they think that they're doing or what they're putting out or the effort that they're putting in and the feedback that they're getting from it, all those different things, just as a creative lifestyle. And again, this is another one of those mindset kinds of books, but I found it really entertaining just to read her story and to read along with her own creative process and recognize a lot of similar things in my own life and my own journey in songwriting or in producing or anything else that you set your hands to. So I really recommend that book as well. The third book that he recommended was The Craft of Lyric Writing by Sheila Davis. And the way that he put it to me was, this is the Nashville songwriter's Bible. It's such an important book and helps you understand all of the fundamentals and all of the foundational pieces of songwriting. And it gives you a lot of tools that you can work with as a songwriter. He highly recommended that for understanding the technical aspects of the craft and being able to practice it, learn it, use it in all of your material. And that way, as you do all the exercises, as you go through each of the chapters, you can really grow and develop as a songwriter. So the next book that he recommended was Writing Better Lyrics by Patterson. This is another book about the craft, about the technique of songwriting, but it has a lot of exercises in how to improve in each one of those areas. I really loved just the first chapter alone. I thought was amazing, which he talks about sense writing and the exercises the exercise about sense writing. I found super, super helpful in learning how to include all of your senses into your writing so that you're creating a much more effective picture for the listener. I think just that first chapter is worth the price of admission. And then the last book that we talked about was actually the Rajat Thesaurus. I know that sounds really weird, but it's actually a great resource. And he recommended specifically to get the first edition of it because of the way that it's laid out in its format. And the reason that he recommended that first edition is because of the layout of it. So when you go in to look at a specific word, you'll have all this group of words around that one phrase that you've looked up. But then if you look at the different sections that are around it, there are also very similar words or similar feels to what it is that you were looking up originally. So it gives you a lot wider breadth of language that you can use in your songs. And I found that super, super helpful. And I also wanted to give you one more book recommendation, and this is from me personally. This is a book that I found really helpful in learning and working on the craft of songwriter, or just any creative effort or endeavor that you're working on. And that book is The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. I know a lot of people have talked about that book, but I found it incredibly helpful just learning to press through the resistance that you find and really dig into creating a discipline and a daily rhythm around your craft. And I think it's super helpful. And I just wanted to give you a bonus because, well, I like you. So I hope that you guys found this helpful. Hopefully you can go out and get those resources, buy a book a month or a book every week or whatever it is that works for you. I will actually leave a file or some links down in the description below so that you can go and look at those books. I will say the craft of lyric writing is a little bit harder to find. It's not in print anymore, so sometimes you just have to look in the used book in Amazon or look on eBay or other places like that where you can find some used books, because I don't think it's in print anymore. But that's, again, an incredible resource, so definitely look for it. And all the links below that I'll have, they're not going to be affiliate links. I just want to give you guys some great resources to go and look at, and I don't want you to feel weird about it being some sort of promotional thing. So these are just resources that somebody recommended to me, and they changed and helped my songwriting career, and so I want to pass that on to you just because somebody spent the time with me to help me learn and grow as a songwriter. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you liked the video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button below, and I will see you on the next round.